In this video, we will understand the concept of linear equations in two variables. So when I say the word linear equations, it means the maximum power of the variables will be 1 here. So because they are equations, there is something on the LHS, something on the RHS. And because of two variables, we need two equations to solve these two variables. So for example, the general form of linear equation in two variables are a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0, a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. Here a1 and a2 are the coefficients of variable x, b1 and b2 are the coefficients of variable y, and c1 and c2 are the constants. Now before we go for solving these equations, let us understand how to check without solving if the solution exists or not. So if the coefficients, the ratio, that is a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2, it means it has unique solution. By the word unique solution, we mean that only there exists only one value of x and one value of y, which will satisfy both the equations. So when we have a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 is equal to c1 by c2, this implies it will have infinitely many solutions. By infinitely many solutions, we mean that when we plot on a graph paper, these both lines will coincide each other. So of course these two have solution. Now in case a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 is not equal to c1 by c2, this implies it has no solution. By no solution, we mean that if we plot on a graph paper, these lines will never intersect. They will be parallel lines. So if this is a graph, so if the lines intersect just once, this is the case of unique solution. If two lines coincide on each other, this is called infinitely many solution. And if two lines never intersect like these, it is called no solution. Now let us understand how to solve these two equations. Now there are three ways in which you can solve these equations. One is by the method of substitution, second is by equating the coefficients, and third by the cross multiplication. In exam, usually it is not mentioned which method to follow, but in case it is mentioned, you have to follow that method only. Now we will take one question and we will solve the same question with all the three different types, and in all of them the answer will be same. So we have taken a question that 2x minus 3y is equal to 7 and 5x plus y is equal to 9. First of all, we'll go by the method of substitution. So for substitution, we take one of the equations and we put one variable in the form of other. So let me just take this one, 5x plus y is equal to 9. So I can write here y is equal to 9 minus 5x. Now for choosing which equation to go for like this way, you have to be very careful that you don't take denominators like 7, 3 or the odd numbers which are difficult to solve later. If you don't have a choice, you have to go for that. But if you have a choice of using a simple equation, go for that. So here I have taken y is equal to 9 minus 5x. Now I will use this value of y to substitute in our first equation, which is 2x minus 3. Now instead of y, I will use this. 9 minus 5x is equal to 7. Now we have one equation in one variable which we can solve easily. This will become 2x minus 9 3s are 27, minus into minus plus 3 into 5 15x is equal to 7. Now this will go there and we can add these two. So 15 plus 2 is equal to 17x and 27 goes there it becomes 34. So x is equal to 2. Now we will use this value of x and we will put in this y variable. So y is equal to 9 minus 5 into 2. So this is equal to 9 minus 10. So y is equal to minus 1. This is how you can calculate the value of x and y using the method of substitution. Let us take the same question and go for a second method, which is equating the coefficients. So by equating the coefficient, we mean that either for x or for y, we can take any of the variables and we'll make the coefficients. Now here, the coefficient of x are 2 and 5. Coefficients of y are minus 3 and 1. So either x or y, it is completely your choice. You have to make the coefficients same. Now, we have equations 2x minus 3y equal to 7 and 5x plus y is equal to 9. I have to multiply something here to both the equations to make any of the coefficients equal. So I'm right now choosing the value of y. So I will multiply this with 3 and this with 1. So now my equations are 2x minus 3y is equal to 7 and 15x plus 3y is equal to 27. Now remember, if the signs are different, you simply have to add them. But if the signs are also same, then you have to change the signs of all the numbers in the second equation. Basically, we subtract them. Now here, because the signs are same, we'll just add them. So 17x is equal to 34. So x is equal to 34 by 17, which is equal to 2. So x is equal to 2 is our answer for these equations. Now you can put the value of x in any of these equations, completely your choice. So I'm putting it in the second one. So 5 into 2 plus y is equal to 9. This implies y is equal to 9 minus 10. So y is equal to minus 1. So this is how you can solve more equations, more questions based on equating the coefficients. Let us use the same question for the third method, which is cross multiplication method. Now cross multiplication method is a little tricky to understand, so listen to everything very carefully. So first of all, let's just derive the formula for how to calculate x and y using cross multiplication method. So our general equation is a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0. a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. Always remember, for using cross multiplication, you have to get everything on the LHS. So this 7 and 9 also need to go to the LHS. So now, when I'm supposed to find the value of x, what I'll do is I'll hide x. So I am left with b1 into c2 minus c1 into b2 upon, for the denominator we just hide the constant, so it is a1 b2 minus b1 a2. I repeat, for finding x we just hide the variable x and we use b1 c2 minus c1 b2. Now for going to the value of y, we will hide y here. So we again start from this side, that is c1 a2 minus c2 a1 upon, again for denominator same thing, a1 b2 minus b1 a2. So this is the formula for getting the values of x and y using cross multiplication method. If in exam you are given that solve using cross multiplication, you have to go for this method only. In case you forget the formula, you can always hide and derive the formula. Now let's take the question here. Our question now becomes 2x minus 3y minus 7 equal to 0, 5x plus y minus 9 equal to 0. Now always remember, you have to take the value of A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2 along with the signs. So here A1 is equal to 2, A2 is equal to 5, B1 is equal to minus 3, B2 is equal to 1 because there is nothing here. It is 1. C1 is equal to minus 7 and C2 is equal to minus 9. We will just use these values here to solve the values of x and y. So x will be equal to B1 C2, that is minus 3 into minus 9 minus C1 B2, that is minus 7 into 1 whole upon 2 into 1 minus 5 into minus 3. Let's solve it. We can solve it here also. This is 27 minus into minus is plus 7 upon 2 minus into minus is plus 15. So this is 34 upon 17, which is equal to 2. Similarly, we'll solve for y. C1, A2. C1 is minus 7. A2 is 5. Minus C2 is minus 9. And A1 is 2 upon same thing, that 2 into 1 minus 5 into minus 3. So we'll solve it. This becomes minus 35. Minus into minus becomes plus. 9 twos are 18 upon 2 plus 15. So this is minus 17 by 17. So this is equal to minus 1. So this is how we got the value of x as 2 and y as minus 1 in all the methods. So if in exam it is not specified, you can use any of the methods. But if it is specified, you have to go for the respective method only. So from your textbook and the reference book, you can solve more questions from this chapter.